Welcome to Sandshark Bites. I'm Jim Glasson, the host for today's show. With me is Coach Jay Harris from the women's soccer team, and we're here to talk about how the season went this year and get some feedback from the coach about that. So the basic numbers from this season were the Sandsharks finished 9-8 overall. They were 5-5 in the conference, 4-2 at home, and 5-6 on the road. The team played 4 nationally ranked teams during the season, and 3 of them were really competitive. So, Jay, what do you think went well this season?
There's a lot of good takes, obviously, in terms of we increased our wins from last year, outside and inside of conference. Goals, we scored the most goals ever in program history. We let in the least amount of goals in program history. We individually, Anna, scoring the most amount of goals ever by an individual points, as well as I think goals in a game. So we improved in a lot of categories, and the important thing now is we work off of that and keep improving, making sure that we keep elevating the program.
I mean, I was impressed because I've seen every team that we've had here at USCB in the women's soccer program over the years, and this was the most talented team, I think the most competitive against the top teams in the conference. And so congratulations on the recruiting that you did this year. I think that was a really positive thing to the eye, to the quality of the technical ability and the tactical knowledge of the players. That was an improvement from what I've seen in the program over the 9 years that I've been here.
I appreciate that. You know, a lot of the players that we have are very good players, technically, that their IQ, and we have some good athletes. There's a good balance, but there are pieces missing. I think we try and play sometimes a little bit too much, to a fault. We try and possess so much, and we've created a lot of chances doing that, but when them chances are not going in, we have to have more defensive intensity. We tend to rely on our ability to create chances, and early on in the season, it was great. We kind of glossed over our weakness because everything was just flowing and goals were going in. When you go for a little bumpy stage and those goals are not going in from all angles like you was before, you get exposed a little bit with your weakness, and we weren't able to really mend that well enough. We worked hard, but then we sort of started letting set piece goals in, and we still continued. I mean, in every single game of the season, we created so many chances, and we never really, Warner, we scored some goals, but we never created or finished the opportunities like we did in those first 4 games. When after those games with a couple of injuries and a couple of setbacks within the squad, it never really came back to where it was before. Even the fluidity and the chemistry of the team, we still created chances, but not as much as that. So it's something we've got to work on, and that's my job and my responsibility to bring in the players to mend that and plug the couple of spots that we need to improve.
Yeah, I think the teams that gave us the hardest time were the teams that were very dangerous on set plays and corner kicks, and also that played fairly direct. They didn't boss the midfield. They pretty much played very direct and created maybe fewer opportunities than we had, but we were vulnerable to that. So
yes,
yeah.
This is true. Against a few teams, it's something we we worked on, but unfortunately we just weren't able to mend it within season. It's something we're going to have to work on in the off season, in spring, really cement how we defend and what we do. Like I said, we're going to have to take away sometimes a little bit of the prettiness of what we do and kind of grind more.
Yeah. It's a tough conference. I think that's one of the things that our new players learned early, was that this conference is very competitive. The Sun Conference in women's soccer is high levels of really good football. So.
100%. It's a great conference to be a part of because of the competitiveness. Every game you go into, you really don't know how it's going to go. Teams are up and down. So you're nervous, you're excited. They're great games to be a part of, and yeah, they're learning that, it's not, you can't go into any game assuming. You really got to work and get the results that you need, because a couple of bad results, as we found out, you let some games slip and you find yourself in a position you don't want to be in.
Yeah. I think one of the good things about the team is that 9 of the 11 starters are going to be back next year. We had a lot of underclassmen that started right when they got here, and so I think there's a good core coming back. Of course, losing the top goal scorer in the season history of the program is going to be tough, and then losing a goalkeeper with the quality that we've had is also a tough loss. But there's lots of wealth, I think, in the younger players that we have. Lots of more experience now after this season. So I think those are things to really build on and look forward to.
That's correct. We have a great group of girls that the next few years, can be really special. The foundation that we built this year, although we didn't achieve the heights that I think we could have, the foundation that we've laid this year is tremendous to build off. As I say, it's on me now to go out and find those few players where our weaknesses are, or even strengthen what we have, so we can come back stronger next year. Losing Logan, you lose any starter, you're going to have to either bring someone in, or you've got people here. We obviously have Iris, who transferred in from Grambling State. She sat behind Logan, played a couple of games. It's her job to lose, really. She's come in, she's been patient, and the spring, will determine a lot for that position. And then Logan, and then Anna. Goal scorers are always hard to find. Everyone wants players who score goals. We was fortunate that we got goals from a lot of different places. Anna was the top goal scorer, but we have enough players that can take the load and score more goals. In our freshmen, you Lexi, Mina, Ava, Julia, you obviously Gabby, Bailey will be back next year. So we have enough players to where they can increase their tallies. And again, it's on me to go out and find. You either want to find one person who can really put the team on the back and get them, 15 to 30 goals a year, or it's about making sure it is spread out and you get someone maybe that holds the ball up and can facilitate more goals for other people. And
so I think a reflection of the respect that we're getting in the conference is the fact that 2 of our players were honored. As Anna Ginlat was honored as a second team all-conference, and then freshman Alexi Kaiser was honored as an honorable mention all-conference player. So I think part of what we need is some respect from the conference, and that the fact that we're getting that now with those players being honored with that recognition. I was very impressed with Anna this year. She's always had pace, but her ability to come back and receive the ball at her feet and then be able to turn defenders, and her skill this season was really a tribute to how hard you've worked with her. And she was yards better than she's been.
That's a testament to Anna that, like I've said in previous interviews, last year Anna done a great. The sacrifice for the team was tremendous, because the work rate, and she put the team on the back and done so much for us. It doesn't represent in stats, but she was phenomenal for us last year in how we played, that we really just defended and tried to hit teams on the break a few times. We gave up 80% possession in games just to really try and get a counter-attacking goal. But this year, like I said, we had the players around her to help facilitate her, and we worked hard. Anna has an innate ability to be deceptive and beat players. She's very strong on the ball, and she scores goals. When she gets in front of the net. So it's a testament to her hard work, and I'm just happy that she's able to leave here with herself being cemented in the record books, and getting second team all conference is no mean feat when you've got the number 1 and 4 team in the country in our conference, and players scoring 40 goals a year. It's not easy, so it's a great achievement for her, and quite honestly, I think a few more of the players should have got awards. Kumar was exceptional this year, playing. She don't have the stats in assists or goals, playing right back, but she rarely ever gets beat, and her work rate is immense. As well as Eva. She done a great job in the holding mid position. Doesn't have any stats, but hopefully, she can increase her reputation within the conference moving forward. And there'll be more players. I think next year, the goal is to have hopefully around 4 or 5 players getting in the all conference teams. Be great to get someone in the first team. That's the goal. So we'll work hard this spring and we'll come back stronger.
Yeah, the 2 players you talked about, Ava and Kumar, they were kind of the motors for the team in terms of their work rate, in terms of their ball winning, in terms of their maintaining possession. And so I was very impressed with those 2 players all year. Alexi also had a great season. She scored 5 goals and had an assist for 11 points, and that led to her being recognized by the conference as well. So.
Oh yeah, we're going after small Ohio girls. She's done great for us. She's a great teammate, good personality. Yeah. Chemistry is what it needs to be. She's come in, she's made an impact. She's a very smart player. I probably thought Skag might have been one of her best games. It was a night game, and she really dominated. She won so many balls. She was exceptional. She's similar to Anna in terms of she's deceptive. That she's quick. She can turn and beat players, and she's very smart, and she's very comfortable in front of goal. So she's been a great addition to this program, and I will be getting some more hard girls.
So I think, I was always impressed with her. Not just her strength in the winning of balls and fighting for the ball, but when she got it, she could beat people and shoot with either her left or her right foot. So she's got some of the technical abilities that you want from that attacking midfield or, player that plays just behind the striker. So, I mean, she had a great season. So yeah. So it was a hard year in some ways. Kind of disappointing in some ways for you and for the team, and for us to watch. We were hoping for that last playoff spot, and what was it, the last minute of the second overtime, there was a goal that was scored that kept us out of the playoffs this year.
No, it doesn't. The last game doesn't really represent to me. They done what they needed to do to get in, and we didn't do what we should have. We had our opportunities, we had our chances. I don't look to anyone else. No one's doing anyone favors. You play your games, other teams play their games. We didn't achieve what we set out to do. On many accounts, we done well on breaking records, this and that, but it comes down to one thing and one thing only, and we didn't achieve that, so that falls on me as a coach. The girls put in the effort, and I take that responsibility, and I can guarantee we'll be better next year. So,
okay. So what I'd like to do is to close with some words from you for our 4 seniors that are graduating this academic year. So you want to say something about each of them?
Every player is as important as the next on this team. We rely on everyone in different ways. There's going to be players that start, there's going to be players on the bench, there's going to be players that have different roles and different minutes. But in order to have a team and a successful team, it's about all individuals coming together. So they've all contributed to this program, and I'm grateful for each of those for the time they've put here, whether they came as a freshman, whether it was 1 year. Obviously Anna was here 4, I think Logan 2 or 3, Riley 3, Mar 4. So I'm just appreciative and grateful that they chose USCB and this soccer program to be a part of, and I wish them nothing but the best moving forward, and hopefully they can continue to follow and support this program.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Jay. Good luck with recruiting coming up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Coach Harris. And we're looking forward to the 2020 season for the Sand Sharks women's soccer team.